Welcome to Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host Josh, and my voice is not here, but we got the Daves here. What's up, guys?
What up? What
What's up? What's
up?
up?
Let's go,
Dave,
baby.
how you feeling, man? I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks, man. How you doing?
Feeling amazing.
No, I'm just kidding. We played basketball the other day. It was awesome. How's your legs
Yeah,
feeling?
we
How's your
balled
back
out.
feeling?
I'm good.
I
You
know.
guys are the ones
I
that
know.
were hurting. I'm good.
What
I
were you
was
guys playing?
definitely hurting.
What were you guys playing? A couple, like some 4-on-4, some 21, some horse. Like what was the
All
game?
literally all of that. All of that
All of
stuff.
it.
To
All
little one on
because like
one, some two, some
yeah.
3-on-3, a little bit of 21. Yeah, it was
It
fun.
was we were dead. It was like an hour and a half, and we all died.
Yeah, I was
Dave
exhausted. I admit.
showed maximum effort by he did the Daria. Remember that show? Where like the
Yeah,
ball would
yeah,
come near him, he'd be like, I got it.
I'm just not jumping and getting hurt at my old age.
Like there was one thing where the rebound was there, and everyone's like, Dave, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm not getting
I'm
hurt.
like, I'm not getting hurt. You guys, I gotta work
Oh my
tomorrow.
God.
Sorry.
we got our own Teddy B on the podcast, guys. We got Teddy Bridgewater, Viking Dave. He's not going to take the hit. He's not going to make the tackle. Screw the
Listen.
interception. Yeah.
You gotta make
no
a
biggie.
business decision.
A
That's what they
business
say.
decision. I like that.
We had one guy in the court. He's like the biggest guy too. He was like what, 6'4", 6'3", Allen.
Oh my.
He took a
Yeah.
huge bump, fell straight backwards on his neck, rolled over.
On his neck? What is he? Is he
Felt
bald?
bad for him.
Yeah, he's bald.
Yeah, of course he is.
It looks so much worse when bald people fall like on their neck and heads because like yeah, it always looks so much worse. So I just
It was
imagine
horrible. But all right, we're not here to talk about our pathetic 40-year-old basketball
attempts.
games.
Josh, if I showed up, what would be the odds I would have scored like 1,000,000 points?
There's probably two people better than you out there.
You think?
Chuck for sure would have shut you down.
Chuck would have shut me. Okay, guess
Yeah.
what? Eyes on the prize, Chuck. I'm coming for you. I got you.
He
Next time we
listens,
play, come
and he's
out.
ready.
Yeah, next time. I hope Chuck is ready. I hope Chuck knows what's up because I hope Chuck's ankles are on point because Chuck, drink your milk, son. I'm about to break you down.
All right, we're here. We're not going to give you starts and sits of the week. We're going to go straight into our DFS construction. We got our guy.
Read the article.
Yeah, the article's coming out. The article will be out sometime tomorrow because Davey likes to put those Thursday night guys on there.
Thursday
Like a
night
fucking
players.
asshole.
I'm looking out for you, and you, other guy that I'm talking to that we can't see right now.
All right, let's bring in Finn, our DFS expert, to talk about our bad luck from last week.
What's up, boys?
You know,
What's
well, our
going
bad
on?
luck wasn't really Finn's problem. I feel like because me and Josh were so excited about starting Tom Brady. We were on this. We looked at each other with little cutesy star eyes when he showed Brady, and I had to remember I matched my phone to the camera. I was like, "Look, buddy, I've got Brady too." Well, yeah, we both went down in flames with Brady, who threw like 3 interceptions in the first 5 minutes of the game, and I just decided beer was the way to go, and I stopped looking at scores. So, thanks for that, Josh. We did great.
We were close. There were so many 50-50 matchups where I was like 51
Yep.
or 52. I'm like, oh, so close. If I just had one more non-Tom Brady interception, I'd be in the money.
I know.
It was. I had 99 points going into the fourth quarter. I was crying to these guys, Finn and Dave, because they're in a group chat. Davey ignores our group chats.
I do.
And they're like, "Shut up, Josh. Shut up." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not going to cash. Like, you're killing it. 99 points." I'm like, "Yeah, sure. 99 points is nothing." Well, I didn't cash, but
for the record, I never said 99 points was good. So
I have.
I could have told you that was not good.
No, you said chill, Josh. It's only the fourth quarter of the 1 o'clock game.
We had a little time, but yeah, no.
Yeah, we had studs going, but like, yeah, I mean, last week was the reason why I hate Fanduel, and I talk about it all the time. It was literally just like a 2v2, 3v3. Like I'm looking at the min cash.
Yep.
It was the only difference was we went Dak over Josh Allen. Josh Allen was 57% owned. That's good for us because Dak was cheaper and outscored him. So boom, win there. Dallas Goedert over Kyle Pitts sucked for us because Dallas Goedert was only 4.6 in my, some of the bigger things. And he was crushing. He had like 2 catches, 20 yards in the first quarter. Then got concussed. He stays in the game. Well, I'm only 4 points away from like a full double up across the board. And then I was just telling you guys pregame, I went Cardinals against Carolina, thinking like PJ Walker, and I had the money for it.
Yep.
And they just, obviously Cam came in and they crushed it. And but I was like so close to going the Colts over the Cardinals. They're the same price, and maybe the Colts are even like $100 cheaper. I can't remember. But I was like back and forth, and I was up at my parents' house last weekend, so I was driving home like miserably hungover from going to like a brewery and distillery tour, and at like 102, I was like, all right, I'm going Colts. And I was like, fuck, it's 102. So coulda, woulda, shoulda. But again, that's I've told you guys this from day one. Like, that's why FanDuel can be really frustrating because it ends up becoming like, I picked one guy over yours, and like we were right on one of them with Dak over Josh Allen. But then the defense and the tight end, that was it. It was literally quarterback, defense, tight end were the only three differences. And then DraftKings was a great week. Yeah, I mean, I won some tournaments on there. Like smaller single entries. I crushed it. And like a lot of the core was the same. It was just the ancillary. Like I played Dak Prescott, Dearness Johnson, Mark Ingram, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, and James Conner on both. The only difference was I had Dan Arnold at tight end, and he smashed, especially on DraftKings. And then I went Lions. And yeah, that right there. I mean, it's crazy how just those two differences were the difference between winning tournaments and then, not cashing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that was last week, and we're going into this week where I'm telling you, I'm not feeling good about my lineup. I always say that, but this week, not feeling good. How you feeling, guys, about your lineups?
I mean, I feel like I was trying to text you guys earlier a little bit to talk about this, but like there's so many things right now that are like on the verge, like we're not sure about that could make like or break the lineup for sure. Like I can't imagine like if they say CEH is for sure out, like after Darrell Williams just had such a big week, what am I going to do? Am I going to trust Deontay Foreman after seeing him kind of be the lead in Tennessee for 2 weeks? And now Tennessee gets to play the Titans, or the Texans. The Texans, they play the Texans. Like, I feel like why not in the second half just give him 1,000 carries? Like, how's Elijah Mitchell's finger with the pins in it after the surgery? Are we going to see Jeff Wilson take over the backfield duties for the week? So, like, I know we do the show on Wednesdays, and we always say like our lineup is 90% probably going to change by Sunday, but this is one of those weeks where I feel like when it comes to running back, at least, like there's so much stuff up in the air right now that kind of will sway my lineup for sure when the time comes. And especially after last week when we all plugged in Dearness Johnson and Mark Ingram and got to see how that worked, and that worked pretty damn good, that this week is also going to hinge on those like last minute in or outs for the cheapies. The one guy I was going to ask you guys about is James Conner. He's not too high priced again this week. We saw him still kind of do his thing last week. He did okay, not as good as the week before. He's the kind of guy that is, I'm kind of at running back anyways. We're speaking about all these running backs being on the verge. Right now, I'm thinking AJ Dillon and James Conner are my two guys.
Way to jump the gun. We're not.
I did. I know. I had to jump because it's like so. Like it all hinges on that for this week for me.
Right. I definitely understand that. Hey, Dave. Before we get to that, Dave, did you fill out any lineups this week? Just so I know.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I love Dave. Not a man of few words. You would think his throat is sore. You would really, really think that, but no, he's just so intelligent. He only needs to give you a yep.
Why else would I have set all of this shit up to come on here just to listen to you guys talk for 30 minutes? No, of course. I have a lineup.
You do that sometimes. In fairness, you do that sometimes. Where you just like interject, you're like, that guy
Use
sucks.
your head, buddy.
Usually Josh's guy, you're like, that guy fucking sucks.
I love this guy. All right, Davey, I love your thinking.
I'll still do that, yeah.
But let's start at the top like we always do with quarterback position on the FanDuel site. I know you guys are going to – it's usually with quarterback this year, we've gone big, right? We want the Josh Allens, we want the Daks, we want the Mahomes.
See, I feel like I never do that. I always try to go for the cheap option I think is going to turn out better. And after shitty Tom Brady week, I'm tired of doing that. I want to go at the very top, and I want to get like Josh Allen this week because I'm sick of it, Josh. I'm sick of buying these. Tom Brady shit the bed.
Me and Finn have always gone top.
Yeah, and I didn't listen. And you guys went Dak Prescott last week. No, you went Tom Brady with me last week. We shit the bed, and I'm sick of it. I want a QB that's going to for sure put up points. So
I went with the quarterback.
Tell me who that is this week.
I went with a quarterback who is 7,400 on FanDuel. He's playing the Las Vegas Raiders.
You didn't
We
go
just-
Joe Burrow.
I went Joe Burrow.
I
Off
went
of-
Joe Burrow too. Everyone fade Joe Burrow as soon as you can.
Oh
We
my
did it
gosh.
again. We did it again. We both went the same quarterback. Nope. I'm changing him out of my quick replace all right now.
Joe Burrow
Get him
has
out.
been on
Who's
fire
Finn going
this
with?
year.
Who's
He's on
Finn
pace.
going with?
He's on pace for 40 touchdowns this year, which I know there's an extra game on top of that, but 40 touchdowns with Joe Burrow is amazing. We just saw Vegas get destroyed. Okay, we know it was Mahomes. Okay, we get it, but we just saw them get torched. Why can't Joe Burrow go out and do it with Chase, with Higgins, with Boyd, with Mixon? Why can't they do it? Because they can. Joe Burrow's pretty cheap at 7,400. I had another quarterback in, but I didn't
So
like
cheap.
my lineup at all. I hated my lineup. I had bad skill position players. I had Myles Gaskins in my lineup at one point, so I had to take him out, put Joe Burrow in there, make some room for an upgrade of my running backs and my receivers. So Joe Burrow 7,400. Why not, Finn?
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Sorry, Dave, to
Love it.
steal your
Yeah.
thunder there.
Love
For
it.
me, it's Dak or Lamar this week.
I knew he was
On
going back to
FanDuel,
Dak. Back
it's
to Dak.
FanDuel, they're the same price. So, I mean, on DraftKings, there's a big difference, so it's pretty obvious who to play. It's Lamar or Dak, and spoiler alert, Dak is way cheaper on DraftKings, so he's my quarterback on DraftKings. So I'm probably going to go Lamar on FanDuel, just to kind of diversify. But because again, we talk about cash, making sure my I'm diversifying the risk. So yeah, I mean, they're both 8,400. I think those are the two biggest no-brainers at quarterback, and it's a pretty wide margin for me. So pick your poison.
Dak was in my lineup, not gonna lie. He really was in my lineup. And I decided, I said I hate the rest of my lineup. So I'm curious on how your lineup goes out this way, because I hated my lineup with Dak in there. So I wanted to get that cheaper quarterback that can give me the similar numbers. I think he can do 20 points for Burrow, I think is pretty reasonable, don't you think? No?
Depends which Burrow. I mean, a couple weeks ago, he was like
I
3 points,
agree.
wasn't he?
Depends which Burrow.
I like him a lot, but I looked at him. I don't trust him. Like, he might blow up, but he might not do nothing. I got Dak in my lineup too. That's who I went with.
Good job, Dave. I like that play.
Thanks,
I like
buddy.
that play.
Thanks, buddy.
Now that you finished
Appreciate
it off, start me off with your running backs, Dave.
I'm going big time. I'm going CMC. I mean, he's a lot of money, $10,000, but he's a beast. So I put him in there. I don't love the rest of my lineup, but I love having CMC in there. So that's what I went with for now. Might change, but CMC is my number one guy.
Who's your other
Don't change.
running back?
Oh, I did Dylan because he's gonna run all over Minnesota.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Viking Dave, we're best friends right now.
Boom. You guys
Dude,
are nailing
I'm
it.
smarter than everybody
guys are-
in the room. What do you want me to tell you? Like, what
You're
do
not
you want
smarter
to
than me at DFS, so we just think you're as
Not
smart.
you,
Let's
not
put it
you.
that way.
tell you?
No, I mean,
Everyone else, but yeah,
yeah, but
that's why I
Davey-
went with CMC and Dylan.
Davey and Josh, I'll let you guys go, but I won't give you mine yet. But this week literally is 2 CMC or not 2 CMC, and that's really it.
Wow.
If you decide to go CMC, you're gonna have to probably cut some corners elsewhere. If you decide to not go CMC, obviously there's ways, but I'm going to call it now. I think CMC might be the highest owned person on the slate,
Wow.
so he might have to be owned. So again, it's going to be 2 CMC or not 2 CMC.
Davey, I'm gonna let you go because apparently all my picks are shit tonight.
Yeah,
so.
I did not CMC. I went with the two guys that I went James Conner and AJ Dillon. So the AJ Dillon is still there. I'm going back to the James Conner well. He plays Seattle. They're terrible against the run. I mean, is Kyler going to play? I don't know. There's so many question marks in the air right now when it comes to running back, man. I don't know. I feel like this lineup's going to change 10 times by Sunday to me.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I went AJ Dillon as well, 7,000. Obviously, it's the chalkiest chalk of all time. And I went someone I know Dave's going to make fun of me for, and I went David Montgomery against Baltimore. I think they're going to want to keep that game close. They're going to want to slow it down, and I think they're going to use them. Baltimore can be ran on. They've been, they're not elite at running, stopping the run. David Montgomery, 6,800. That's the cheapest you're going to find him. I'm telling you guys, he's going to blow up the second half. I'm telling you.
I don't really care about the second half. I care about this week.
Well, I'm telling you, it starts now. It starts now. Okay, starts now. 6,800. That's pretty cheap for a running back one. Come on, with not really sharing time with anyone. Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's got a quarterback that runs now, so he does share time with that.
Which is
so.
going to open up.
Yeah.
Well, which is going to open up a lot of lanes, if you ask me. But you're not.
Potentially, but it's not a super high scoring offense to begin with.
We're not
so.
asking you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's one thing.
I don't
it's
trust
a high
Chicago
scoring
at all.
offense. Yeah. Yeah, I mean AJ Dillon, I
That's
think is
just
probably
me.
the second easiest.
I like Montgomery, but not enough.
Yeah, I like him in season long,
Sorry,
but I mean in DFS he's a harder one to kind of.
It is. It's very hard to predict.
So, yeah, AJ Dillon was very easy as RB2 for me. I'm going running back in the flex. We'll get to that eventually, but for me, you know, especially if you decide to CMC, and I think that's the move this week. There's 3 pretty clear running backs for me this week. So, I mean, if you want me, you know, if you want me to just give a little quick hit, like I like Dalvin Cook. My model loves Myles Gaskin. Mixon's always good. Jonathan Taylor is just a freaking animal. But they're going against Buffalo, but I don't think that's really stopped them now. These catching passes. Chubb at 9,000, too expensive, I think, for me, even against Detroit coming off that game. I like James Conner, but again, that's going to be a lot of like, is Kyler going to play or not? Like, I think I saw somewhere that Vegas basically puts an entire touchdown on Kyler Murray. Like, he is worth like, you know, that's, and for those who don't sports bet, that's a lot to have one player be literally deciding between 7 points. So yeah, but for me, I mean, Christian McCaffrey and AJ Dillon are the two easiest plays of the week.
No, I definitely agree with that. I had Gaskin in my lineup before I had Montgomery, and I feel like I just wanted to spend that extra money up. I also had Michael Carter in my lineup for a little bit because the Dolphins have given up a ton of points to running backs, but the Jets, I didn't want to mess with that at all. So that's why I went Montgomery, guys. So it might change. Receivers, Dave, start me off at
Gaskin's
receivers.
a good play.
Oh, I know Gaskin's a good play. I just wanted to spend that extra money.
Just because the Jets suck. So obviously, since I started McCaffrey and Dak, my receivers are a little bit thinner. I got Michael Pittman. I just like him. I think he's awesome. I don't love the matchup, but I think they're gonna have to throw to stay in it. Corey Davis against Miami. Miami sucks. Davis looked good last week. Flacco's there. Hopefully he goes with the safe route. And then Hunter Renfrow, he's just solid. Like he's very rarely gonna like shit all over you. I feel like his floor is solid enough to where, you know, and if he scores a touchdown, then that's great. So those are my 3 guys.
I hate those plays.
Hunter Renfrow, baby. We're like, you know,
So,
I have 2 different wide receivers, but Hunter Renfrow, he's in my man. We're on the same wavelength today.
I love Hunter Renfrow,
Gotcha,
Dave.
buddy.
You know I love that play. I traded for him from you. He's been leading my Scott Fishbowl team.
I know.
I love Hunter Renfrow, but the rest of your lineup sucks. Davey, what about you with receivers?
Dude, I'm lost right now. Like I am so up in the air about like what to do this week. I can't figure it out. Oh man, I'm trying to configure the Dak to stack with a CD Lamb here because I feel like I just need that.
This
I'm
guy's
my
going to give
life.
you a cheaper stack. Don't worry.
Yeah, I need. Oh, we're gonna get a little Gallup stack. That'd be dope. Ooh, okay. I love Gallup. I would love to do that. Yeah,
Do it. I'm doing it.
I had Pittman, Chase, and Lamb as my. Oh, yeah, this could be.
Gallup
Let's
is
move it
too
around.
cheap.
Yeah, let's move it around. Let's rework it a little bit because I'm feeling a little Gallup action.
All right, so since Davey's in the air, I got mine locked and loaded up. I got AJ Brown against the Houston Texans.
Screwed
I
me
gotta
so
do it.
hard last week.
7,200. I gotta go with my stack. Jamar Chase, 7,700 against the Raiders. If I'm doing Burrow, I'm gonna do Chase. And my wild card, Deebo Samuel. I know he's expensive, 7,600, but with Mitchell with the broken finger, we saw him in the backfield getting carries. He's also getting catches. He's Patterson times 50. Like he's just a better player. If he's gonna get all those touches and the catches, Deebo Samuel at 7,600 to me is a steal.
I love Deebo
against Jacksonville as well. Like they're not going to lean totally on Jeff Wilson, and you know they're not going to use Trey Sermon. So Deebo Samuel in the back, if he gets 8 carries, you know that's just extra bonus points for me. Deebo Samuel's a locked and loaded player. He was like the first player I locked in. And Finn, it bored Finn. It literally bored him to death.
Like, yeah,
I love Debo. I'm just not sure if Yeah, I mean, I got AJ Brown, so I'm with you there against Houston.
Yep.
No one else to really catch the ball. So, I mean, he's like a low price stud, like right. His ceiling at 7,200.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, everyone who has his ceiling, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Adams, like they're all significantly more expensive. So I got AJ Brown. I got Hunter Renfro. And then I got Michael Gallup. I mean, Michael Gallup saw 5 targets last week in the first game back, and they're playing the Chiefs, so probably the highest total of the week. He's the guy. This is a third wide receiver. I want to get access to that highest total. It might make me think to actually just run a full DAX stack in both. In both because I do think like as a third wide receiver, he's not just a random third wide receiver. He gets again 5 targets and they get the Chiefs. Terrible defense, highest total of the week. That's like a cheap and easy way to get exposure to that game.
We had someone in the chat saying Dalton Schultz is your stack.
Oh,
As we pivot to tight end, do any of you agree with that?
And I don't have Dalton Schultz in a tight end. No.
Me neither. A little too expensive for where I want to
go. With tight end, I like to go either high Kelsey or the top guys or low. And I'm going to take this one first. I went Dave's guy. I went super low, 5,500, Tyler Conklin. This guy has become the third passing option in this Vikings offense. Dave, I want to hear what you think about Conklin because I know you're a Vikings fan. You're into it. This should have been Irv Smith, but it's not. What do you think about Conklin at 5,500 against Green Bay?
I started Conklin too, so I love it.
Yeah, but like,
that's no fun there. You're supposed to shit talk him and then agree with him.
I thought you were gonna be like, that sucks.
No, I mean you're right because I mean KJ Osborne's really good, but Conklin's getting all the dump offs. He's getting a lot of red zone work. He doesn't have a lot. I mean, he only had 3 catches, 14 yards last week, but he scored 2 touchdowns. If he gets the touchdown, that's all you need. But there's been games where he had 7 catches for 70 yards. So he's really doing great. He's doing way better. It sucks that Irv Smith got hurt. Obviously, I mean, I was super high on him before the season. But Conklin's doing really well. So, I mean, I had him in my lineup too. I really like it.
Davey, how say you?
I went $100 cheaper than that. Went back to the Dan Arnold train. 3 weeks now, he's been pretty damn good. I'm sticking with Dan Arnold for 5,400. I'll take the cheapie and spend the money elsewhere.
I love that play. It was either Arnold or Conklin for me. And
Arnold's cheaper. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I would take Arnold. Like, Conklin seems to be very touchdown dependent. Maybe I'm wrong. I just saw him. Arnold is like leading their team in targets every week. Like he's literally the only pass catcher in Jacksonville you can trust.
I think he's had like 7 targets 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw his price, like we talked about, Ricky Seals-Jones being so cheap earlier in the year. Like Ricky Seals-Jones was cheap and he hadn't proved anything. Like Dan Arnold's been a stud and he's still so cheap. Like I thought that was a misprint, honestly. Yeah, I mean, especially if you're trying to squeeze in like Christian McCaffrey and I have a high price quarterback. I mean, I think Dan Arnold was pretty much a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely agree with that. I wanted to go off pace a little bit because I read something where
Josh
Dan
got
Arnold,
the Jags. He got the Jags jersey on, baby, repping.
Yeah, well, Dan Arnold had 7 targets in the last 3 weeks. He has no touchdowns, but doesn't need it to be a tight end 1, which is insane.
I think we just on the waiver report yesterday, we just said he's like 38% owned, but he's had like tight end. He's tight end 8 through the last 3 or 4 weeks, which is crazy.
Yeah,
since the trade.
Yep. So with my flex, I went running back and I went DeAndre Swift, 7,500. I can't quit Swift no matter what. This guy is the cheapest RB1 in my opinion. He should be up there with the greats. He catches balls. He's a great runner. What are the odds he's going to have 2 backup running backs steal touchdowns from him again in long runs too? Like they were long runs, right? Like they weren't just goal line carries or inside the 5 carries. DeAndre Swift against Cleveland. They're going to be running the ball, trying to get that win. Not going to happen. But Swift's going to be awesome. 7,500. Davey, what about you?
Dude, I'm in La La Land now because I'm trying to mix it up and I can't afford anyone I want now in this flex and it's confusing. I'm waiting for the running back news. That's my answer. I'm waiting for the running back news.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Reed came out and said CEH probably isn't playing this week. So he's
CH
not
probably
till
isn't playing, but
week 13, I think I saw. So this weekend next. So
I see
had Garrett
Waddle
Williams in
or
there.
Alvin Kamara is back at. Well, it said he had they said he would a limited practice today, so that's like another thing that's on my definitely keep an eye on Alvin
that's
Kamara.
something. Yeah, keep an eye on. But Darrell Williams is
Darrell
pretty
Williams,
easy.
yeah, what a beast.
6,300. That's a pretty easy.
That's
Like
so
you
cheap.
say, cheapest RB1. Like Darrell Williams is the cheapest RB1 this week.
Mhm.
6,300.
Damn,
He really
I like
is.
that a lot.
But I was on the same page as Davey. Is CH going to play? Yes. Reed says he's probably not.
Yeah, Reed said week 13. One thing if Reed said like week 12,
Yeah.
like maybe he's close. I mean, he said 2
Yeah.
weeks. So like that leads me to believe he's not as close as maybe some might think. You know what I mean? Like maybe he said week 13 and because he was eating a cheesesteak and just didn't come down. Like yeah, if he said week 12, I'd be thinking a little differently, but week 13 is so far away that yeah, I don't have any worries. Again, we'll always pivot, but
Andy
I'll have
Reid
no
has
worries there.
never been a good time manager ever. He never has. So you never know. He's like, 13, 12. Well, who knows? Who's keeping track? Dave, your flex. Who's in it? No, Dave's gone. Dave is muted himself. All right. Dave's muted himself. So we're going to go ahead and move on to defenses.
Can I just say that Dave just stood up, and I'm so glad the guy doesn't like free ball or anything. That could have been really gross for all of us. If Dave stood up and he just left nothing to the imagination because he forgot he was on camera, like an 80-year-old man. He's like,
yeah,
"How do you work this thing?"
I wish he did the Billy Madison and he showed us just under his shirt, like what player he had next. Like this is Frank's shirt. Just he was like, "Yep, boom," and it said like Pittman. Like
I think Dave unmuted himself, but he can't talk. I don't know what happened. But Dave, whenever you made the switch mid-show from wherever you were sitting to wherever you're sitting now, you unconnected everything and nobody can hear you, which is totally fine. It's okay. Get a piece of paper, write down your stuff. We're here for you, buddy. Defense, I went Chiefs 3,300 cheap. I don't know. I don't like this at all. I hate it actually. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do.
It's the highest total of the week. Like there's one thing. I'm okay with going cheap defense, but not on the highest total of the week.
No, I have no more money left. So, I mean, look, when I did this lineup, I told you I hated it, but that cemented why I hated it because this is
I would go Indianapolis at 3,200. Like they're priced down solely because of who they're playing.
Yeah.
But Indianapolis has like a talented defense. They could very easily get a couple sat, and we've seen lesser teams confuse Josh Allen. So, yeah, I'd rather take my chances on a very talented defense.
See, what I'd rather do is try to get Darrell Williams in my lineup, like you said, and then get up to the Vikings defense who plays the Packers. And the Vikings always abuse Rodgers. Like they always get to him. Dave would know, but if he was unmuted, but he's not. He's frozen now. But I really like that matchup. I'm trying to get up to that Vikings cheap defense. But I don't know how you guys feel about it. But I swear, every single time the Vikings and Packers play, they just abuse Rodgers, but Rodgers wins in the end. It's crazy. They get like 5 sacks on him, and he'll pull out a win somehow. Davey, where'd you go on defense?
Panthers, man. I just went with the Panthers.
That's where I'm at too.
Yeah, 4,100. It was like the cheapest, best option that I could see. Like Panthers.
Really?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm at 4,100 left. I mean, I have 4,200 left. There's no defenses that are really popping out, but like, it's not like Washington is a world beater. They showed up last week against the Bucks, but that's probably more of an anomaly than really who they are. And you see Gilmore. If Gilmore just locks down McLaurin, that could be a very, very long week for the Redskins.
Heineke is aggressive and likes to take deep shots into tight windows, and that's fine when he plays shitty secondaries like the Bucks. But try it against the Panthers, and I think something else is gonna. It's gonna be a different outcome.
Right, Dave, are you back?
Viking Dave, what up, baby?
I don't know. Can you hear me yet?
Oh, we can hear you loud and clear.
I hear you, buddy.
I hate
What's
this
up?
fucking shit.
I don't understand how everyone
hear
can
me?
figure it out on the
we're
first
great.
try.
Yeah, we
And
hear
Dave
you.
can never.
Yeah, he's a little late, but we can hear him fine.
Dave, give me your flex and your defense because we already did all that.
Oh, then we're good.
So
You can hear me?
Yeah. Yes, David.
Mixon was my flex. I quickly switched from what? I'm out.
Just like that.
It's Mixon, Joe Mixon. I feel like he's like
I'm out. You just
the
dropped the mic on
the
Mixon.
lottery girl. They switched to the lottery girl who gets the ball, like the power ball out at the end, and that was what we got. Dave, send us your Powerball number for the night. It's like the Powerball of tonight is
Mixon
What's
and
it?
Texans D.
Mixon and Texans D. There it is. I hope you have those two in your lineup because they are the big winners.
That was Dave in a
Awesome.
nutshell.
Did he just say Texans D? Okay.
He says, "Fucking StreamYard keeps kicking me." Dave's the only person that I know that lives in a
Only.
multi-million-dollar house that has a computer from 1992 in the worst internet I've ever seen in my life. I love it. I love
House. How do you pull that off?
it. Bro, Dave has connections, man. Like he's the GOAT, right? He's got
the goat.
1099s,
He's the goat.
as you
guy.
know.
He does. He
He's
told
the
me.
guy.
I called him. I was like, "You know what 1099 is?" He goes, "I do. I own my own business."
That was one of the best fights I've ever seen live. Like in full, like who's this new guy? I know Dave. Dave wants to fight with everybody, and then you didn't back off. I've seen many guys back off and like just call him a bitch and say he's gonna fight him. But
dude, my people, I've lived in like an 80 house development, and we like there's like kind of two waves. The first wave had a fantasy football league that filled up like that. And the second wave was like, "Hey, you want to do a fantasy football league?" We're like, "Oh, we do. It's all full." So I'm like, "All right, we're starting another one." They wanted to be 12, and like they had like 11 people. They were stuck at 11, stuck at 11, stuck at 11. So I'm like, "I'll join if you need me, if you need someone." So I joined. I don't know who any of these people are because there's 80 houses on the other side of the development. I talk so much shit in this. I mean, I just don't. I'm unmerciful. It's just terrible. My wife's like, "We're gonna get shot walking around the neighborhood," and like. It's so funny because none of them know me. They don't know, like, I'm a 6'7" ex-college football player that, they probably wouldn't say this stuff to my face, but it's all fantasy football chats. I don't give a shit. You can say whatever you want, short of like making fun of my wife and kids. And, dude, it's so funny because these guys, like, one of them changed his team name. I'm like, "Oh, you're a fucking piker. You don't even matter in this league." So he's like, he's like, "I've never been called a piker." So he changed his team name to like Team Piker. Like the commissioner has like all these he keeps going with like crazy trades to go through. I'm like, "How many fucking burner accounts do you have in this league?" And then like someone else was like, "Oh, I'm team burner account," and someone else was like, "I'm team burner account too." I'm like, "You guys are all a bunch of bitches." And I'm like, dude, it's so funny. Like that's what, but you say, like, I just love talking shit. It's like my favorite part of fantasy football.
Oh, I know. I saw it happen. I'm like, oh, because I think before you, we were in a new league too, and Dave started talking shit to our mutual friend Danny that we know personally, and like Dave was just like going in, and Danny's like, "You don't talk shit like that to me," blah. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys, can we just have a normal fucking league?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he starts talking shit to you. I'm like, Dave, you don't know these people. Just stop. He's like, "No, that's part of the game. It's fun." And I'm glad that you were like actually cool about it. Was like, my other friend was cool about it too, but he's like, "That guy doesn't talk to me like that." I'm like, "Dude, it's fantasy football, whatever."
Yeah.
But you're like,
I'll say to people all the time, like, "Oh, it's cool. Like you wouldn't say it to my face. It's fine." Because there's like another guy who called me a douchebag in this dynasty league, and I'm like, dude, like again, mutual friend, I never met him. He apparently is like 5'8". I'm like a foot taller than him, and like I was like, dude, it's cool. Like, say what you gotta say, but like, and it was out of nowhere. He started getting like personal with the attacks. I was like, do what you gotta do, man. It's all fantasy football. I don't take any of this personally. All I'll say is don't say anything here that you wouldn't say to my face. That's it, right? Like, talk all the trash you want, because if it's just trash talk, you'll say it to my face. And he's like, "Oh, you don't fucking know me. I'll say it to your face." And then like our mutual friend texts me. He goes, "There's a 0% chance he would say it to your face." Just so we're on the same page.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny.
All right, do you want to run down your DraftKings lineup real quick? As we are amateurs, we did not fill out a DraftKings lineup.
Yeah, no, there's gonna be a lot of overlap there. It's still Christian McCaffrey. It's Dak Prescott at quarterback. Again, for me, it's either Dak or I mean, I guess you could think Cam Newton at 5,100. Like if you really need to save money, but that scares me. I think Dak at 7,200 is such. I mean, again, like you get Patrick Mahomes at 7,600. Like you're getting $400 cheaper on a quarterback who's still in the highest total, who can produce just like Mahomes. So And then Lamar's 8,000 on DraftKings. So, like, it's such a no-brainer to go Dak on DraftKings. Christian McCaffrey, 8,900, so he's even cheaper on DraftKings. Even, I think, as a percentage of the overall pot. A.J. Dillon, still a no-brainer. Still got Darrell Williams in there at flex. Jalen Waddle on because it looks like Tua, I think, is back this week. And even if
Yes,
he's
he
not,
is
he
back.
still catches a million passes. So I love Jalen Waddle more on DraftKings. I do on FanDuel just because of the full point PPR. T. Higgins on the Bengals. He's my kind of my big play guy this week. There's no one like no one similar to like an AJ Brown where it's just like a mispriced stud on DraftKings this week. I mean, I guess the closest you could say is like DK Metcalf at 68, but I just don't feel comfortable playing DK in cash. So, and then Gallup again at 4,200 again, especially in full point PPR. I just, stack that with Dak and call it a day. I got Dallas Goedert at tight end, hoping he makes it through the concussion protocol. But again, I'm trying to find our boy with the Jags, 4,100. So that's an easy down. That's an easy downshift there. If I need to down and save a couple $100. Darrell Williams again at flex, and then then the Panthers at defense. So again, similar to last week, a lot of overlap. The only difference, and again, this is why I like playing DraftKings more than I like playing FanDuel this week, and really every week, is like, I think Dak might not be super chalky on either site because you're gonna have to split that between Lamar, and I think people might say, "Oh, $400 more for Mahomes. Let me do that." I just think it's a little easier and like kind of sharper to like play there. And I know that sounds like stupid, but like Christian McCaffrey is going to be he might be even more highly owned on DraftKings. But then it's like the wide receivers, like taking those little wins like Gallup and Waddle on a PPR, because either one of those guys could score a touchdown and like really blow it up for you. Both of them are pretty low priced. You got like T. Higgins. Like T. Higgins has been just like knocking on like a joke, like knocking on heaven's door.
Yeah.
Like he's like so close to that blow up game, and then you got Goddard. I mean, I'll put it this way: I like the actual players in my lineup on FanDuel more. Obviously, we do squeeze in more studs. I think my DraftKings lineup as of today is a much higher shot at smashing than the FanDuel one does.
Yeah, you love Goddard. Like you're in love with. You play him every week, which I don't hate you for because I love Goddard as well. But gosh,
He's
how
just
could
like
you?
because Devontae Smith, like Devontae Smith and Goddard are the only two guys that catch passes there.
Yep.
Devontae Smith catches a handful of passes and they're all long. And if he's throwing short, he's just dunking to Goddard. And the fact that they're running the ball more is opening up that middle for Goddard.
Yeah.
It's not really. We can make an argument that maybe the safeties cheat down, so it makes it a little bit easier for the bombs to Devontae Smith. But we've seen so many games where Devontae Smith is like stepped out of bounds before catching one. There's a holding. Like they need so many things to go right for those Eagles to like connect on those bombs. But if they're running the ball well, that short middle is going to be wide open for a guy like Goddard because the linebackers are going to have to respect Jalen Hurts' running ability. They're going to have to respect the fact that the team's running the ball a lot more. So he's 4,400 too. He's just so freaking cheap. Until that's changed, like I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just tried like not to overthink things.
Yeah. Well, speaking to you, it makes me reevaluate my stupid lineup because
even in
funny.
FanDuel, Logan Thomas who hasn't played in like 5 weeks. He's 5,500 this week. We don't even know if he's going to play. He's 5,500.
It's nuts. That's what I'm saying.
And Dallas Goedert is 5,700. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like LT3 if he played last week and was playing this week because I do think that like you're going to get the shadow on McLaurin, so he might be the guy with the most. But like, I'm not playing the first week back. So
he's got that like Goddard like middle of the field target hog capability that he always comes in cheap, which is why I drafted him in like every fantasy league this year because he's underrated. But like, I'm excited for him to come back to see what happens with his price here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to keep my shitty lineup, and I'm going to keep it in my head-to-head. I'm going to tell you it's going to score 150 points this week, but I'm going to pivot, make some adjustments. I like your Dan Arnold suggestions, a little bit cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
I like Darrell Williams, but I was like, Davey, I didn't check any. I checked nothing. I didn't know if CH was playing or not.
Yeah, that's a big
big thing.
Deal.
If I can go down from Montgomery to Darrell Williams, because I think Darrell Williams is going to score more points, but I didn't know if he's going to get the full share. So I'm going to switch down to Darrell Williams from Montgomery. That's going to open so much for me. That's
for sure.
So I mean,
That's
we'll
that's
see.
gonna
So I
that's
would
gonna help
call-
you get a defense that's not gonna get negative points.
Yeah, I would not play.
Yeah, I would
Unless there's a massive spread in the highest total of the week, I try not to play defenses in the highest total of the week.
I try not to too, but sometimes it just happens. It just I
Just
try.
go down to the Colts. I would feel better about it, because again, that's a good defense. Just in
minimum
shitty
Colts.
I'm going
Yeah.
up to Minnesota, baby. They're gonna smash Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, here you go. Nope, I'm staying away from that.
Really? You guys don't think so?
No,
Guys,
staying away from that.
if you look at the track record, because I know because I'm
No,
friends with Viking
I'm
Dave,
good.
they kill him. They legitimately get
That's
to him.
fine.
Was that when they had Patrick Peterson as a starting quarterback, who's like as old as us, or is that?
Yeah, I'm good on that. I'll pass.
All right. I'm just gonna
We
look.
could talk about like Seahawks defense and then look at them this year.
Josh,
and
just
get
save
a
your
whole-
voice,
whole
bro.
different-
Don't try and explain it to us. You're good.
All
Save
right,
your voice. Drink
I'm
some
not
tea.
gonna explain it.
Save your voice. We're good.
All right,
Tell us
all
what defense you upgrade to in the end. Yeah, besides
I'll
Viking.
let, I'll let you guys know Sunday.
Go
okay? I'll
Panthers.
let you guys-
Hop on the Panthers train.
Look, I gotta go. Okay, my throat. I gotta look. It's
Go
gone.
make some tea, dude. Go make
Josh,
some
just
tea.
do me two favors. One, please
Yes,
don't
sir.
send that text saying, "Oh, I'm gonna lose. I won't see you guys next week." And our guillotine
He
league.
does that every week to everybody.
Oh, fucking!
You know how many times he's retired from fantasy football? Every week. Every week
Every
of all
week.
time. He's retired.
multiple
every
times a
week.
week, every week.
He is Brett Favre, but to the point where we're just like, get the fuck out of our faces.
Just go then.
I'm
Don't
tired
let
of
the door
yeah.
hit you.
For
And
And
God's
then
sake.
two, yeah, please don't tell me about the Cowboys defense. I don't care if they score 100
God.
points. I just don't want to hear about it.
So sick of this
Because
Cowboys.
just because the
Ugh.
process over results, just because you get the results doesn't mean the process is correct.
Hey, all I care about is results and wins, baby.
I almost got
Let's do this,
slammed
buddy.
in fantasy
For the
leagues
rest
by
of the rest of the year.
Cowboys.
It's only a couple more weeks, and we should talk about next week because like the Thanksgiving slate is a whole nother beast. There's 3 games, 6 teams. It's actually a Thanksgiving slate's a lot of fun to play. Especially you got a little bet going in while you're watching all 3 games and you're fat and happy. It's a lot of fun. But
You know what I want to
do me a
do this
favor.
year?
Can we play I want you to play the underdog
Ooh.
defense in the highest scoring total every single week. And I'm just curious how that will play out for you, at least in one lineup every single week. The underdog and the highest total of the slate.
Josh
every
can be the
single
guinea
week.
pig on that. I'm good.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, "Oh, watch me, guys," and I'm going to say
Yeah,
that's
Josh
cool.
can be the-
You
yeah.
might hit it.
Hey.
The results are there, but the process. Let's do that every single week and see how you favor.
It's not gonna do well. But you know what's gonna do well? My lineup this week, and I'll let you guys know about it when it scores a lot of points. But we'll be here
Yeah.
next week.
I can't wait to hear you shouting about it on Sunday with that.
Why don't you
voice
hit
of
me
yours.
up for a head-to-head, man? I'll play you head-to-head.
Let's play
$1 on it. That's some fun.
1v1.
Let's
Hit me
do
up.
it.
Well,
Let's
let
do
me.
it.
I want in.
Three
The 3 of us.
Three-man
Yeah.
I don't know if-
contest, $1 each. Winner gets
Yeah.
like
$1. Yeah, that's it. Boom,
$2.70.
bragging rights.
Hey, I
Yep.
got a question.
Absolutely.
How, since I'm an amateur, seriously, I always see these head-to-heads I can join. How do I make mine joinable so people can come to me?
Ooh, create your
Yeah,
own
well,
contest, huh?
yeah, you do.
I've never done
Well,
that. You just create
I'm
your
going
own
to
contest?
actually
Yeah.
just walk you through right now. So lobby.
Okay, I'm logged on. Let me check it out. Lobby.
I just want to give you the actual the best way to do it. So we're gonna go.
Because
NFL.
I don't have
Oh,
a
yeah.
blue
So
star
go to
yet.
lobby.
Right.
Right.
Create contest right there.
Yep. Create contest.
Yep. NFL.
NFL.
There it is.
You're gonna go full roster. Click the second one.
Yep.
Contest slate. You're gonna go down and click the second one down. The main slate.
Yep.
Head to head.
Okay. Yep.
Public. And then select your
All players, beginners
select-
only. No
and then
experience player. Okay.
definitely do the limit. Like make sure someone can't take more than 3 or 4 of your games. Well, it
Okay.
depends on who you play. Like I max out the 1s, the 2s, and the 5s for how many
Yep.
you can do. So I'll limit that.
What do you
But
mean?
get maybe 2 or 3. But if you guys are only doing 10,
How many
to
people
20,
enter your contest, Josh? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Limit how many times one person can play against
One
you.
person can go against you with the same.
If
Yeah.
you say 1, that means if you say you post $21 head to heads.
Uh-huh.
I actually have a tracker that shows me my winning percentage against people in head to heads, and I will target them. But if say it's against you, Davey, right? I'm like, oh shit, I beat this guy 80% of the time, and I see you posted 20 head to heads, I'll snatch up all 20, and you're like, fuck, there goes all my
then I'm
there goes all
"Whoa,
my
shit." That makes sense.
diversification. So
Because
for
I've
you guys,
noticed
you
there's
do
one guy. Yeah, there's one guy that I've played every week, and I have not beat him once. His name is
What's
Fezzik, Fezzik. I swear to God, I cannot beat this guy. I'm taking his competition. I'm taking him now just out of pride. I don't care if I'm losing again. I'm gonna beat him one fucking week of this goddamn season. Fezzik,
but-
I'm coming after you, sir.
And then what the cool thing is if like say Davey, you posted 20, I posted 20, and no one picks up our 20, FanDuel will just like link us together and they'll like fill each other's head-to-heads
okay.
with like each
That
other.
makes sense.
So
That makes sense.
yeah, there's a lot of guys that'll do that. I mean, because we could do a contest type 3+ people and get the 3 of us in there, put a buck on it, and see what happens.
Boom. Next thing you know, I'm signing up for Jeff Mann's Elite Club, whatever, and I'm using his lineup and I'm smashing all y'all.
It's winner takes all, $2.70, boys. I hope you guys are ready.
I love how we're not
Your next
including-
tea bag is on one of us.
Yeah.
I love how we're not including Dave. I love it.
Dave
Let's
can
keep
jump
Dave
in.
out of it.
He's in.
He's-
Let's let all the listeners in. Just the OUS listener FanDuel. We'll let as many people
Triple-
up to 20
Triple
people.
threat
Yeah.
match.
Well,
to
then I'm
20
not going to
people
share my
join.
lineups with you guys on Sunday morning.
No, we're
I'll
just
share
doing a
my
triple.
dummy lineups.
We're doing a triple threat
He's gonna
match,
send
us
us some
three.
shell lineup. That's like
Dude, that'd be
big as
fun
fuck.
though. Like, get some. If you have friends in there, get them in there. Let's do it. Let's have fun. We can
Okay.
just share, create an OUS one, and like, because I think what might be fun actually is like we have a bunch of people on here. If someone wins and you guys know them, like bring them on and ask them like, what was your thought process?
Yeah,
Like
sounds awesome,
give them
yeah.
like a 10-minute spot and just be like, yo, you smacked us all up this week. What was your thought process? Like that
Not
could
a
be
bad
fun.
idea. Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
All right, that's a great idea. We'll be back Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Is that what we're doing?
Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll probably going to spend more time on Thanksgiving because that's going to be a lot easier because it's the next day.
Yeah.
But we'll give a preview for the weekend as well.
Okay,
But, like,
that sounds good.
I would say prepare for that show to either be longer or just don't do your start sits because
Yep.
we're gonna be talking about 2 completely separate slates. So
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
I'm gonna go sleep and rest my voice. I'll see you guys next week.
Later, boys.
Later, guys.
see you boys.
Peace.